Chapter 3080 begins with Liberty attentively serving food to her son Sonny and to Duncan, who looks at her with deep affection. Duncan's feelings for Liberty are evident, and his gaze conveys a warmth and fondness that has developed over time. Despite the undercurrents of affection, the atmosphere remains calm as Mr. Fraser, seated beside Duncan, remains unfazed and focused on his own task, taking care of Kathryn. He does so in a quiet, attentive manner, ensuring that she is well taken care of during the meal. Liberty, observant and experienced, notices Mr. Fraser's meticulous care for Kathryn. He takes the time to debone fish and meat, carefully placing the prepared pieces into Kathryn's bowl, ensuring that she can eat comfortably without any hassle. He even adds more soup to her bowl without her noticing, showing a level of attentiveness that goes beyond mere duty. Catherine, engrossed in conversation with Liberty and Sony, remains blissfully unaware of the extent of Mr. Fraser's care, simply appreciating that her favorite foods are always within reach. Liberty, having seen such acts of subtle affection before, quickly deduces that Mr. Fraser harbors deeper feelings for Catherine. She recognizes that Catherine might be blind to this, possibly viewing Mr. Fraser's actions as part of his role as her all around assistant, who is responsible for handling all aspects of her life, both professional and personal. Liberty's experience allows her to see through this facade, understanding that Mr. Fraser's care goes beyond what his job description would require. After the meal, while Duncan and Mr. Fraser engage in conversation, Liberty takes the opportunity to speak privately with Catherine. They sit together, discussing typical women's topics, while Sonny plays with his new toy nearby. Liberty, always one to speak her mind, takes this moment to share her observations with Catherine. She leans in close and whispers a suggestion that, though surprising, is rooted in her keen perception of the dynamics at play. She suggests that if Catherine is serious about her desire to have a daughter without the complications of marriage, she should consider Mr. Fraser as a father. She points out that Mr. Fraser is not only loyal and highly capable, but also possesses the strong genetic traits that Catherine would want to pass on to her offspring. This suggestion catches Catherine off guard. The previous evening, her mother, Matriarch Farrell, had hinted at Mr. Fraser's feelings for her and asked Catherine what she thought of him. Now, with Liberty echoing similar sentiments, Catherine is forced to consider the possibility that Mr. Fraser might indeed be the ideal candidate for fathering her child. Liberty's argument is compelling. Mr. Fraser is a powerful and resourceful man, someone who has always supported Catherine in her endeavors and would likely continue to do so in any future role. His genes, combined with Catherine's own intelligence and capability, could produce a daughter who would be a formidable successor. Catherine's reaction is a mix of surprise and contemplation. She smiles at Liberty's suggestion, but also sees the strategic value in it. However, she playfully questions Liberty's motives, pointing out that technically they are business rivals. She asks if Liberty is suggesting this so they can avoid future competition, or if Liberty herself is considering having a daughter to continue the rivalry through their children. Liberty dismisses the idea of future competition between their children, explaining that she and Duncan are not yet married and not planning for more children at the moment. Even if they were, there is no guarantee they would have a daughter. Liberty humorously notes the strong male genes in Duncan's family, pointing out that the odds of having a daughter are not in their favor. The conversation takes a more serious turn when Catherine mentions that her mother has tasked her with suppressing Liberty's business. Catherine warns Liberty to be prepared for a ruthless challenge, as she plans to test Liberty's capability as a rival. However, Liberty is unfazed by this declaration. She welcomes the challenge, noting that her business in Willspoon has been too smooth, leaving her craving the practical experience that a formidable opponent like Catherine could provide.